In case you couldn't tell by now by the shaky hands and the call out to Janelle, who I know, this is my first time doing stand-up. You guys have a better idea of what I'm doing than I do. So I'm going to start off by saying that, like many of you, I went home for Thanksgiving break, and I had to fly there because I live in Chicago, and that's how travel works. And I had the fortune of flying first class because fuck regular people, am I right? Upper middle's where it's at. I was flying first class, and near the end of the flight, as we were descending into O'Hare, the stewardess brought a man wearing army fatigues up into first class. And then she immediately went on the PA and told the cabin, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, we just moved a man, a military guy, up into first class so that he could be the first off the plane to surprise his family when he lands. And I thought, oh, that's so heartwarming. It's so beautiful. Thank you, stewardess, for allowing me to use this as my stand-up routine, because she called him a military guy. I am not kidding. I thought that was really disrespectful. I mean, this guy served for 2 years in Iraq. He did wonderful things to defend our freedoms and our rights. And he was finally coming home, and she called him a military guy. Thank you, plain lady. He was probably a private or a sergeant. I mean, he at least deserved military dude or military man. Like, he deserves more respect. So it made me think of other professions that are respectable that can be called out so disrespectfully in public. Like, if on a plane someone collapses, the stewardess could call out, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, but a man has just collapsed and he's convulsing violently. We need someone who makes people's colds go away, the hammer that makes their leg feel weird. We need one of those right away. This man really needs your help. Or potentially at a funeral, during a eulogy honoring someone who died. Yes, tonight we honor our fallen brother, Tim. He may have just been some guy who fought fires and made them go away. But he did good at it, so yeah. I got to see my brothers over Thanksgiving, and it reminded me that they are twins, because I forget that sometimes. Facts about my own family. But it reminded me that one of the few questions I get when people find out that I have brothers is, are they twins? Usually because I say they have the same birthday, or they have one set of friends, or they're the same person, and I'm making them up. But the other most common question, which I'm not very comfortable with, is, are your brothers hot? No booing. That's uncomfortable, and I hate that question. There's no way I can answer that without a consequence. Because if I say yes, then obviously it makes me look gay and incestuous. And my brothers. But if I say no, there's still a consequence. Because it still makes me look gay. I had to look at my brothers, stare them head to toe, and judge their relative attractiveness, and think to myself, would I bang them? They're not really my type. So I hate that question because I can't answer it, so I answer in my own way. So instead of saying yes or no, I just murder the other person. No consequences to deal with. Speaking of murder, I've got some great stories for you guys. I'm dead serious. Hun, this happens a bunch of times actually. My phone freezes up, much like a computer. Technology these days. So, you know, that usually necessitates a forced restart. And that's usually done by holding down the power and home buttons, putting knowledge into your minds, for like 20 seconds, which is just a stupid amount of time, first of all. Phone makers, take note. No one's going to accidentally hold two very far apart buttons on two different sides of a phone for more than like 3 seconds. It's not stopping anything by making me hold the buttons for that long. But I digress. You guys are getting some knowledge. So, you know, murdering things reminds me of having to turn off my phone because on the outside, it looks like I'm just doing this. But in my head, I'm like strangling it within an inch of its life. It looks like, go quietly into the night. Don't make a scene. But it's good because I don't actually kill it. I get to bring it back from the dead like Frankenstein. Which goes a lot better with phones than with the small animals that crawl around my backyard. Thank you for letting me do